the time, the clock isn't right, but looks like we're streaming. And we're connecting on Facebook, and once we've connected, I'm going to go live, and then we're just going to go and do it.
Cool.
So yeah, this is what I'm trying to avoid, is just like sitting here watching us do. I mean, I guess we could do this while we're waiting, but me and Darren are connecting. So we're going to go live. Are you ready, buddy?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Very Dad Ideas is a live streaming show with two dads, a voice actor, and an animator. Put the kids to bed and get permission from their wives to deck around on their expensive computers. They have been known to say things like Singular, Boost Mobile, AT&T, Jawbone, such as that. And remember, if you didn't hear it here, you didn't hear it anywhere worth of nothing. Hey, good evening. It is 9:30, and Very Dad Ideas is live.
It is live.
In your living room. I take it away here with Nye Warburton. Nye Warburton, how are you today?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm trying to get our backgrounds to loop. I'm doing all right. It is Tuesday night, and tonight we have a very special episode of Very Dad Ideas where we're doing mobile phones. Is the topic of conversation tonight.
We were in such a rush to end the show last week. We just said just mobile phones, and we just left it at that, and we haven't talked since.
So it's just gonna be being us grabbing our phones at awkward moments and just going
and just
yeah, so good. So before we get into that, real quick, we've added Mark Hamill to our little.
I earned Mark Hamill.
You earned that's your badge. You've upgraded yourself to a Mark Hamill.
I feel really good right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's just I feel like I've come a long way. I've earned my my son's very much into Pokemon, and I feel like I've sort of. This is my Pikachu. This is Raichu, actually, is who this is.
Right, with a nice coif. This is Very Dad Ideas flair. Darren's
Mark
flair.
Hamill and is gorgeous. I mean, I feel like that there was a lot of blow drying, shaping.
Probably, and the beard as well, right? I mean,
it's wonderful. And finally, I've collected him. Yeah, I gotta say, like this show is paying in very, very real ways.
In very dad real ways.
Yeah.
All right, so should we do? How about we start off with a dad vice, a mobile dad vice, and yeah. So let's make sure we go to our open here, and we'll do that. All right, so this week's Dad Vice is about mobile phones. So, Darren, we are both fathers. Myself, I have a 2.5-year-old, and you have and also a 4.5-month-old who is asleep right now. You also have what is it? How old is Luke?
He's almost 6, and then I have about a 7.5-month-old.
So what is the policy in your household on mobile phones, whether the kids get it, are they using it? Is it like what?
I wish I could like bring it further back and just only allow them rotary phones so that they could only call someone when their fingers could actually.
Do you want this call? Do you really want it?
How bad do you want it? There's 7. You got to go 7 times around the rotary dial.
And there's
You'll
like
build
2
up a whole
zeros
forearm
and a
if you
4
can call.
in it.
And then whip your massive phone to your ear. Yeah, man. We don't. There are very specific instances where I will hand over my phone to my kid, even my 6-month-old. He's 6 years old. I just don't even know anymore. I get so tired by the end of the night.
Yeah.
And I don't know any of the small details of talking.
But you don't give them phones, right? You were telling me about that.
We don't give him a phone. He has occasionally, like, there's a Kindle where he can play Fruit Ninja or something on it, but it's very specific, and he doesn't even want to play it very much right now, which is like we're like holding right there, like, you know, as long as that can happen. But even today, I go to pick him up at daycare, and there's an older kid sitting in aftercare, and he's playing a game on his mobile phone.
Yeah.
And all of the other kids are around him, like they're all around the one person.
I went to a like a cookout at some party, you know, and as I showed up, there was, you know, a group of kids playing outside, and there was a group of kids on the couch, and all these kids on the couch were just, you know, you know, playing various things or whatever. And I look at that and I'm like, I want my kid to be part of that segment, not this one. So we're in a precarious place where Griff will, as a 2-year-old, will completely have a meltdown because he wants to so desperately have the phone. He loves those nursery rhymes on YouTube. And in moments of weakness, when we're trying to bribe him to use the potty or prompt him to do something or whatever, we've given it to him, and that seeds the desire right there for him. And so we're trying really hard to ration. We've been great about television. We don't give any television, but I feel like that's so passé now. All he wants is that phone, right?
Oh, well, I mean, geez, you know, that's it for Luke. Is Luke wants a show. Like he watches a ton of TV.
Oh, okay. So we've exchanged.
He just doesn't have a phone in front of him. Yeah, it's the size of the screen. It's a much bigger screen.
Right. You can't take a TV and put it up to your ear.
I mean, not yet. I mean, I keep Googling iPhone, like foldable iPhone. They haven't made it yet, right? They made the 10 or the X or whatever that is, but they don't have the flip phone. They can't take the mobile phone back to what I want it to do, which is clamshell up so that it takes less room in my pocket.
Right.
That's the problem with all these fucking smartphones.
Right. They've destroyed so I always put it in the back pocket of my jeans. And this might be better served in our later segment, but like I put it in the back pocket of my jeans. I have blown out like 8 pairs of jeans. I have just
from the weight of your phone.
No, because I like put it in the back and then I sit down and it like stretches the pocket and then it.
Oh yeah, sure.
So and also my phone is kind of all sort of curved out or whatever. So I mean, if we had to sum up our dad vice here, you know, what do you think we should leave our
just use utmost caution, right? I mean, it brings up the other point too, just like the size of the screen. I mean, they're going to spend time in front of them,
right?
You know, it's just that world now. But I really feel like, I don't know, you got to be able to pick that, and because. You know, it's the same thing with going to the video arcade on Saturdays. Like I only surprise him with it. I don't want him like thinking, you know, it's just like I want a short dose, you know, and then like take it the fuck away.
But does the like when he pulls away from the dose though, is there like, you know, oh, no, I want it.
Right. So it's like you have to use the Ferber method or something, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to you just give it back to him for like 2 minutes and then you take it back for 3 minutes. I don't know what fucking.
Right, and I feel like that is constantly. I'm always in this negotiation of like, you know, listen, we gave it to you, you watched it, you were able to do this, and now
He's trying to be reasonable, trying to like sound reasonable and have like the whole thing be reasonable when really you're just gonna I'm just gonna take this shit away.
Yeah, exactly.
I can make it all go away, all right?
Well, that leads us into our main segment for tonight, which is where we're going to talk in depth about mobile phones. We decided to bring in some thoughts, and like, you know, maybe we should just go over one more time why we decided we wanted to talk about this. I mean, for it must have been the last 5 years we've been having this joke, you and I.
Yeah.
This when we look at the phone and just
and this is it. It's just. I took the ferry into work today. And just I really did. I made a conscious effort to put my phone away for like, a whole boat ride. And like everybody in there, like, I mean, you know, it's a commuter ferry, so like people.
It's San Francisco too. Like it's cool.
And there's
to
laptops. There's everybody's laptop is out. Everyone is composing like the email, the one that they have to like fire off before they even get in the door.
Right.
And
because
but yeah,
they have to get venture capital or whatever it is.
The number of screens that people have open in front of them, I'm just like, wow, like, and processors. It's just, you know, like everyone's a little mini computer, like the phone is, and your laptop is. And
so there's right when I get off, I don't really get on the 405. I avoid it all the way through, and there's one road that takes me almost to the 90, and before I go north, and it's all bumper to bumper because there's like a few stoplights. I swear to God, every time I'm on that like I'm just like stop. As soon as I stop, and I'm usually like listening to something, I'll like look over. Guaranteed.
Somebody's tapping out something.
No, all around me, just all around me. It's like you've stopped, and everybody is just like they stop, and they're like.
Well, is that? I guess that's the next move after you shoot like a car into space with a dude in it.
Did you see that?
You then make after that. Do you just put the device in the car so that it snakes out where your hand is, and you can just like type something or some shit?
Or we just eventually they'll start designing cars before automated cars. The model between automated cars and the current version will just be like hand on the wheel, like this, like so you can like
just God. To drive in crummy real time.
So let me kick us off with my first thought of the night here is and I don't know why I'm where did my
whatever
I'm unprepared.
I like that. I like that. Wait, I'm gonna react to that. Give that. No, I will definitely. No, I will just like it.
All right. So I mean, this is like not to break our comedy up, but like
no, this
is good stuff. So this book is the one that I came across here. It's called iGen, and this just came out, and it's basically it's by this woman Jean M. Twenge Fudd, PhD.
Yep.
Why today's super connected kids are growing up less rebellious, more tolerant, less happy, and completely unprepared for adulthood. I mean, it's like the ultimate, like, hey, fuck you, kids. We're adults. We know what we're talking about.
Yeah. But it's the new version of it. It's the new version of you damn kids.
Yeah. I might have screwed us. But, all right, whatever. So, anyways.
What happened?
Oh, I lost our show down in the bottom here.
No.
Yeah. This thing is not good. Okay. Well, anyways, I'll continue on. Let's hope that this goes through. Anyways, this book was interesting because it basically lays out everything that's going on that we all knew was the fake, but it put numbers to it, which was things like kids who were born in the 1990s on are spending less time with their friends. They're spending more time on social media and texting. They have high levels of anxiety and depression. They are valuing things like safety and tolerance. They have no patience for inequality. They're spending increasing time on things like snap streaks, which is the Snapchat thing, and this is going to be 24% of the population that. Real
quick, Nye. What is this? What is snap streaks? That you just said something right there that I.
Oh, it's like it's basically how many times in a row you have put something on Snapchat. It's like if you've done it like 50 days in a row, your snap streak is like really good because
It's like a badging system.
Yeah, it's a badging system to make sure they stay on Snapchat. So it's kind of destructive. So anyways, I wanted to open with this because I feel like this is like representative of exactly what we're talking about with these phones, which is it's funny that we're all addicted to this, but the younger generations are totally getting fucked with this.
They're never even getting a chance to connect with one another. They're only existing with the little. Oh God.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to while we're doing. I'm gonna have to fix the display settings here because
we need to up the wow factor.
Yeah. There we go. So that was my first one. You got anything to?
On that? I think I could close. I could just do this all in one of them, but like because it all feels like it's sort of the same thing, which is that like, I got my first cell phone, like when I was 27 maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
28.
That sounds about right.
And I think I got my first smartphone like in either 2009 or 2010. I'm not sure, but I think it was somewhere in there because it was an iPhone 3G,
Right.
S, X, whatever the last version of that was before they made the 4. And like, I don't know. I remember when my dad, you know, he worked for the phone company like in the 80s, and he had probably, one of the first mobile phones in his car, like sort of the businesses, like besides like government or police or anything like that. Like he
I
had
mean,
a
like,
cell phone.
yeah. I mean, my
Like
dad had a.
I don't know if you Googled like 1980, mobile phone setup like 83 or 84.
Car phone.
Yeah, I guess it'd be a car phone maybe.
1980 car phone.
Yeah, because it had like a. I mean, you like sank it into this thing, and it had like a button to like, pop it off of the receiver, and
like this kind of thing.
yeah, like
that's
like
a little.
That's what it
that's
became.
Still, yeah.
That's way more modern. It's more.
In fact,
it's
my dad had something similar as well in like an old Nissan Maxima.
Just
even these are kind of modern.
Yeah, like those fuckers, and like I don't know. It just sort of like the way that it kind of clicked and sort of locked in, and it just sort of was indicative of my dad, because my dad was just like, he was really good about his time, and I think that generation was really good about their time. It was like when they got, like the mobile phone had sort of killed them for like a half an hour in the car. If they had to talk to somebody, then you get them for that half-hour commute wherever they were. That's sort of like it. The one in the middle. Yeah.
Oh no, this one or no?
Yeah, that's sort of it. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I mean, this sort of. I know what you're talking about, because my dad had something similar. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I remember though, like it was like 90.
He just didn't get calls at like 9. He wasn't like on the hook for like shit at 11 o'clock at night, like our generation seems to be. Like
I think it was like 99, 2000 when I started. I got a cell phone. It was like a Sprint. It was like a Sprint flip phone, or like one of those. Yeah. What was those ones that used to go like, open and close the?
Yeah, I had a candy bar phone, right? But I mean, I had like a Nokia whatever candy bar phone, like. But the flip phones, like they were razors, right? Those were.
Oh, these were also like these guys. Remember these things? Everyone had these things. Everybody and the StarTAC, and yeah. I mean, it's amazing that everything that we're experiencing right now with the addictive quality of this stuff is because in the last 10 years, right? I mean, it's like 2007 was the iPhone. So you're talking about 11 years. And I remember like when Lisa and I were first watching Mad Men, I think it was the opening scene of Mad Men. And we were they were like cigarettes. There were cigarettes everywhere, and and like we were panning across slowly, and everybody was like smoking. And then Lisa made the comment like, "Oh, cut to 20 years from now when they're making a show about our age, everyone's just going to be like."
Yeah. I kind of like that article, but no, I don't even like it.
I brought something else in that I wanted to bring up about like how hey, Brandon Ferris just joined. Thanks for joining us, man. We're talking about mobile phones.
Yeah, we're talking about cell phones.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about the attention economy a little bit, because like all these ideas that they're building applications basically that are really based on trying to get more and more attention. I mean, maybe that's really what we're doing right now with this show. But like the design and the user experience design of these applications are entirely based on like, hey, how do I maximize the amount of like pull into it?
Right. How do I keep the eyes on the screen, like playing with the app?
So Brandon, you cell phones. Yeah, I mean, do you tell people that these are addictive screens of? Yeah. Yeah. What's your pitch on? Hey, you're going to be losing many hours of your life to these phones. Anyways, the addiction economy, or the attention economy. There's this idea that's called a Skinner box, right?
Right.
It's when a little mouse is like pushing to. It's like this experiment from like the 1950s where they put these mice in there, and then they would like give them little pellets, or they would shock them, and basically it would get to the point where the mouse was just kidding. And I think that they're just designing software like this, which is bringing us into this place, which is getting us to be just like, So.
Well, I can't possibly. Yeah, which brings me to sort of my my second point is that I feel like, and this is largely me, but I mean, like, I feel like I've traded all of the things. Like, I feel like when I used to have a smaller phone, like I went and did more things. Like, I don't know, I spend more and more time just, and I notice this because my kids are always watching me. They're watching me watch my phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's bad for like if you're trying to like not be
bad
that
on
guy.
so many levels, right? I mean, I could just what's the
yeah.
comment?
So Brandon is saying that he said he tried to talk people out of the iPhone X. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation in itself. Is that
it totally is.
That Apple is kind of losing it. I mean, they're
I bought plenty of Apple products, and I feel like I feel like the release of an iPhone 8 and an iPhone X was just sort of a little disingenuous. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
How many fucking like it just, I don't know, in a way it made me almost want to just be like, maybe I don't need this much shit in my phone. Maybe I could travel with a fucking laptop and I could just I could just go back to a flip phone, just like a candy bar little phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, maybe I could resurrect Singular. I don't know, and see if they just take me back.
Yeah, I mean, so let's end this segment before we get into our break and our live draw. Why don't we talk about a couple of positive things about phones? I mean, like, you know, I do want to say that despite the fact that these are horrible attention mongers of my time and we've all become zombies about it, I do like the fact that I have like a huge collection of podcasts. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show with you, is because there's all this content that's constantly being developed and being put out on the phone, and so I have all these. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. These are our backgrounds. And stay tuned. Darren's going to fight Darth Vader in just a second.
Oh shit, yeah, dude! You do not want to miss the.
So I do think that phones have the ability to give us great content that really is helping people document.
Absolutely. I mean, fuck, just Google Maps all by itself, or just any of the maps. Like, I don't really care. Like, the ability to take away like the GPS part of your car,
right,
and just have it be on your phone. It's a great little thing.
Right.
I know it totally has a GPS.
So Brandon is telling us that people document more things with their phones, and that's good. Which I think is true. I mean, especially with things like Periscope. I mean, if you're on Periscope right now, you're probably, you know, you can from your phone.
I have 6,000 pictures of my children.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can create books. I can send them to my parents and this and that. So I do think there is a great way. And also you can learn stuff, right?
Well, and brings me to my final point is that, like, I do so much good searching and stuff when I'm peeing. Like, a lot of people can do, a lot of people can take a dump and like get all their work done. I can actually, and by this is really just a dig at my wife because she hates this about me, and I kind of hate it about myself too. But
let it out. Just let it all out.
Being with my phone in my hand, like there's something I'm gonna miss. Like that's how I know. I know that it's completely taken me over. It's like when I used to smoke cigarettes, when I was really smoking cigarettes, I would wake up in the middle of the night and smoke a cigarette. And I feel like I'm that way with my fucking phone.
Of course. All right, well, that's our this is our first segment. We're going to come back. We're going to do a live draw where we improvise a drawing. We're going to be doing some mobile phone cartoons. We'll take a 2-minute break. Brandon, come back, subscribe to us at Very Dad Ideas, and as we leave out, Darren's going to fight Vader for us.
Oh shit! I forgot to arm myself. Wait, that's the completely wrong sound effect. You bring it on. Bring it on, Darth.
All right,
walk over there.
We'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, thanks.
Walk over there, Darth. Yeah. right?
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
What do you mean? Okay, so we're back now. Welcome back.
yes, we are back, and we are
welcome back.
drawing this evening. Something mobile phone themed. Something is Brian Harris with us?
Yeah, Brandon actually switched to Twitch.
Oh.
Yeah, we're on Twitch, Periscope, Facebook, all this crap, man. We're streaming everywhere.
Facebook Live.
We've just started doing this, so feel free to contribute, join us as we mess around. So now we're going to go into our live draw.
This is where Nye draws something, and like since we've been talking about mobile phones, cell phones, and stuff like that, we're thinking we might throw that in.
Yeah.
So let's give a shout out.
Yeah, if you've got something you want us to do, but usually like this is the guy that we always.
Yeah, this is the dude. This is sort of what the whole episode's really about.
Really, what we do is we draw these guys like this.
And he's just got his phone.
All right, so what should our guy be looking at? Right,
Yeah, I mean, like he could be like happy for a second, but then it's right back to just bored and it's crappy.
Yeah.
What could be happening around him? That could be.
Well, probably like lots of cars driving by, all on their
volcano
phones.
Or
Volcano.
It's just like right by an open volcano, but it's like by the Grand Canyon and also in Mordor. Yeah, he's probably in Mordor.
Okay, he's in Mordor, so like he's got. This is the eye.
There you go.
The eye of Mordor here.
Yeah, that's the one.
maybe what's the eye of Mordor? Is that Saruman?
Saruman is the guy who.
No, but is it Sauron? Sauron
right?
is right. So Sauron is on his own phone, I think, for sure.
Oh yeah.
He's like.
Like Shub or whatever the spider is like totally chilling and like digging on their phone or a bunch of phones because they have a bunch of eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, there he is. And he's just like bored. He's like bummed that he's in more.
Right, he's like, I'm Googling where my ring of power is.
I want to see where my location is. I'm trying to find Pokemon. Fucking super rare. Fuck off.
Oh yeah, for sure. You
could put like one of those TARDIS. You could put a TARDIS somewhere in there. He could be in. There's the fucking volcano. That's
right. It's just like blowing up behind him, and people are just like
inches from death. There's just lava that's coming to consume.
Darren, what is the most like precarious person on their phone that you've seen? What is like...
Man, that is an excellent one because everybody's got good ones for this. Because honestly, you've just seen people who have just escaped.
Have you ever like Googled people phone, or people like?
Oh, I see where you're going with this, but
because it's just like it's like total clip art, just sort of like
people just putting together the most ridiculous. Oh god, that's awesome!
Like,
just all of them focused on their phones.
Yeah, for sure.
I like how some of them are actually using it as a phone. That's the part that I.
Right, no one. This is perfect. Can you imagine Sauron trying to face unlock his phone? Nice. Good one.
He's trying. If you look at it long enough, it will face unlock.
So like I have not. I still Brandon, I still have this phone. So we're not doing face recognition at this point, Darren.
Oh God.
You're a Luddite, right? So
I've got a 6. I've got an iPhone 6.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I mean, I am sort of a Luddite with it, but I feel like if I shout out a brand, that like clears me from being a Luddite.
So like his eye. This is the point of view of his phone, right? So he's like, so his phone like recognizes like what 8 points on
Sauron's eye.
On Sauron's eye. I see apple.
I only wish that it would be voiced by the dude from it's that Roddy Piper movie.
Oh, They Live.
They Live. Like the other guy is like a crazy awesome voice actor.
What are you talking about? Who's that?
He's the voice of Sauron in the Lego Batman.
In the
He's,
Lego I saw that kind of on the plane flying back over to back from the East Coast.
He's a fantastic voice actor.
What else has he been in?
He does Rick and Morty stuff. He's the president in Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Oh God! All right, fucking. I'm just gonna IMDb Lego Batman again for like the 12th time today.
Have you been watching tons of Lego? Let's do a Batman on his phone as well to finish up this live draw here.
Yeah, he could be in front of Batman. He could totally be in front of Batman. He'd still be on the
Batman in the Bat phone. Yeah.
But no, you mentioned a really good one, which was the most precarious thing. I mean, I really feel like it's sort of the everyday stuff. It's really just crazy depressing. Just people who are crossing the street, like when it's just busy out, and
right.
And they're just on their phone. They're like fully into their phone, and I just wonder, like,
yeah,
it's the same thing with when I used to ride our motorcycles, that everyone just has their phone all the time.
Would you ride your motorcycle now?
No,
yeah.
It's sitting back there and I can't get rid of it, but I feel like no. I feel like I have 2 kids and I feel like I cannot ride my motorcycle.
Yeah. All right, well let's finish up this live draw by signing Very Dad Ideas.
Dude, now I'm all focused in on
2018. Darren, I think this was a good one, and thank you, Brandon or Falla Ferris, whatever your handle is. Thank you for your contributions as well. So this was our live. I think it was a pretty good live draw, man.
Keith David, motherfucker. Keith David.
Keith David.
Yeah. He's a brilliant voiceover guy.
Okay. Keith David. I think I know who that is. I'm not sure. Anyway, so we're gonna take one more break, and then we're gonna come back for our last segment. And I don't know why our backgrounds are not working, Darren. But
oh no, dude.
There we go.
There. Now they know.
All right, so we got one more track from Jen Remington, who's doing our breaks, and then we'll be back.
Jen Remington has favored us with a few new songs lately.
Yeah.
Where is she? She's still over there at Hey Dog, right?
She's at heydog.com if you like this track.
2 Gs.
All right, we'll be right back.
Yeah. Like 2-3 years ago. I feel like it's just like married to my hand.
Yeah. All right, so we're back, and this is our final segment.
The old cell phone.
And unfortunately, it sounds like my kid is. He's stirring. I think
Is he
he's
stirring?
but he's still asleep. So my wife is at work tonight. So
My kid. So Nye has been doing this total very dad style. I mean, I feel like if there's anybody watching a little.
I know. Thank you very much.
Nye's doing this whole thing by himself
with the kids in the next room. You've done a couple of episodes though.
I have, but I'm not doing it tonight.
No.
And
This is how we roll. All right, this is our final segment of Very Dad Ideas. We do this every Tuesday night at 9:30. We talk about various shit that's ever on our mind. We draw some stuff. We hang out, but
it's all the time we're allowed in the week. This is
the only permission that we get.
Things like this can happen.
Right. So in our last segment, we like to talk about what we're doing with the show itself and kind of the ideas that we're doing. So this was the mobile phone, and just during the break, which is what we always seem to do, Darren, is to like talk about stuff that's actually relevant for us to talk on the air, but we do it in the break.
And then we don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it anymore. But we bring up depressing shit, and I think it's just part of what it is,
I feel sort of with having two kids, like, and just seeing just how much of the stuff is around. I'm not saying that, like, when we were kids, right? I remember those old shitty video games, like the football one, and like the
Tech Mobile.
Yeah, like, well, it was like the red
that
dots.
Shitty.
Yeah. Yeah, you were just moving the little red dot across the thing, and like, they had a football one, they had a baseball one. They had really shitty video games in the early '80s. All of them, all very expensive, but we all used to crowd around that too, I think.
Oh yeah, and then the television too, right? I mean, how much television did you and I waste in our life just like watching this crap?
Yeah.
You don't. You'll never ever not watch me.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
So we thought that, nice little segue there. We thought that our future episode next week, we would talk about Filmation.
Mm-hmm. Sort of one of the granddaddy production houses.
Yeah, because that was a huge influence on both of us.
Yeah.
Myself just sort of as an animator, and you just as a geek and an actor.
Just a super douchey nerd.
So next week we'll be talking about Filmation, and then I also think that we need to get a guest in here. I think that's something.
I would love to have a guest in here. Should we ping?
I think what I'm going to do is this weekend I'm going to try to get Discord and see if I can bring in like an extra video stream, and that way we'll see if I've got enough to be able to do that. And if that's the case, then we should definitely call up Sirotkin and see if we can get that guy. First of all, I haven't talked to him in like
years.
How was the last time you saw that guy?
It was, I mean, before they left. I mean, they left
for Seattle.
For Seattle.
Before
more
my kids.
than 8 years ago.
Oh wow, yeah. So it's been a very long time.
2018. That's the thing to remember. I mean, it's just.
Dave. So Darren and I, we first met when we were in San Francisco in an improv group, and we were in this group with
SF Improv.
The SSMFF.
It was also called Platypus Jones.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we also had the infamous Max, and then another guy named David Sirotkin, who was not only a great performer, but he was also a great musician. So we thought that it would be great to hang out with him. He's also a dad, right? So it makes
he's
sense.
A two-time dad. He's a repeat offender. Yeah,
right. Exactly.
So you've got older kids. It'd be great to have his spin.
It sounds like it would be great to have him in that. So we've got a lot of great plans, and the last thing I'm going to mention is that Jen, who does the music, I saw her at. So her husband Nate turned 40 this past weekend, and so I went out and I hung out with them and whatever, and I got to chat with Jen for a little while. So she watched the show, and her feedback was that she likes it. She likes the background. She thinks it's funny, and she liked hearing us, but she also needed things to listen to. So what she thought would be interesting is if we also had this in an audio format. So while I'm playing around with the tech this weekend, I think I'm also going to try out to do put it on SoundCloud, so you'll hear
right
us
on.
chatting. I don't know, maybe if we did like the live draw, like we put the image of the live draw with it, it wouldn't be so bad. I mean, I don't know, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like we should, at this stage, we should probably just come to people's houses and do a live draw for them. We could, I mean, I don't
tragic
know.
mission.
There's a lot of California, and you're on one end of it.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle, like in, say,
Right.
Fresno. Draw
Right.
something real fast
Right.
and turn around. I mean,
Yeah. Or
easy.
we could
We only have a few children and jobs and shit like that. That
and
it's no
stop
problem.
off at Bakersfield on the way back.
Stop
and-
off in Bakersfield. Always love to.
Yeah. So anyone in Bakersfield who wants a live draw with me
Or
and
Button
Danny-
Willow. I'd go as far as Button Willow.
or where's the In and Out? There's like an In and Out that's directly
Yeah,
between
the
Los
In-N-Out,
Angeles and everyone stops.
Everyone stops. I don't know how you can make that stop there. That is a tortured stop. Like that's where everyone just like all forgets how to drive because they're all like hamburger crazed. There's a sort of a, I mean, it's sort of, you know, right? I mean, like it's sort of a doping mechanism. You're just around it. It's the same thing. I mean, instead of like for a second, you just like you're like this, right? This is what In-N-Out Burgers does to people. You're like, "Bleh, bleh," and then there's In-N-Out Burgers, and you will put the phone down long enough.
All right, and scene.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, folks, that's our show. This was Mobile Phones. I'm Nye, and that guy
I'm
over
Darren.
there is Darren. We do this every Tuesday night at 9:30. We fuck around and do this crazy thing.
Periscope,
Very-
Twitch, or Twitchoscope.
Twitch, Periscope. We're also on
News.
Facebook, and I don't even remember.
And mobile phones. We're on your mobile phone.
We're on your mobile phones constantly. So
You
the next,
one person.
the next time I'm behind you in traffic and you're doing this, you better be watching.
On you. On to you. Just breathing as hard as you can through your mouth.
All right. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you next time. All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.